Welcome everyone to our online event today for a snapshot into student life at UC Merced. Thank you so much for joining us for this new event as part of our admitted student webinar series. As I said, we will be talking about student life today. We do have a few panelists with us as well. First, let me give you a brief introduction. My name is Ricky Hill and I am the e-recruiter at the University of California, Merced. I also will be your behind the scenes moderator for this online event. If you do need to adjust your settings, you can do so in the lower left corner of your screen. There's an icon there you can click on, make your adjustments as necessary, and you'll be all set with your audio. If you'd like to make an adjustment to your screen, you'll see view options at the top portion of your screen. Go ahead and select that and you can make your presentation full screen or something smaller to your preference. Also, we do hope that you want to participate with us today, and you can do so by clicking on the Q&A button at the bottom portion of your screen. When you do that, you will be able to enter a question and send that over to us, and we will get to that either during the presentation or even at the end. We will be having a live question and answer session as well. One last thing, if you'd like to raise your hand during the presentation, you can do that as well with the button that's at the bottom of the screen that says raise hand. When you're ready to lower your hand, you will simply click that same button again. At this time, I would like to hand it off to my colleague, Haley.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley Montoya. I am the coordinator of Fraternity and Sorority Life here at the Office of Student Involvement. Today we're going to be talking to you about how to get involved at UC Merced, and we believe outside of the classroom experiences are essential to student success. Additionally, we have a couple panelists here today that will be helping me throughout the presentation. So first and foremost, I would like to introduce Savannah Pierce.
Hi everyone, my name's Savannah. I'm a fourth year here at UC Merced. I'm involved on campus with Fraternity and Sorority Council. I'm the current president, and I'm a human biology major. And then we also have Amelia, who's also a student.
So hi everyone, yeah, my name is Emilio Guzman. I'm a fourth year public health major right now, and I'm part of the Professional Fraternity Council. I'm also the president, and now at this time I'm going to hand it back to Haley.
All right, thank you, Emilio. So like I said, today we'll talk about some of the opportunities to support your student experience here at UC Merced. So a little overview of what we're going to be talking about today in this presentation. We're going to be talking about our approach, what we value as an office, some of the opportunities for you, and we'll also be providing you some info about student experiences. So Savannah and Amelia will be talking about their experience here at UC Merced, and then hopefully be able to answer any questions you may have. So our approach. The holistic experience is a comprehensive view of the student. We do not just see the academic needs of the student, we attend to all parts of the student, which includes their intellectual, physical, mental, and emotional well-being. In short, we attend to the overall wellness of our students. These needs are addressed both in and out of the classroom. We engage students in ways that get them connected with the community beyond the classroom and build a network of resources and support. These experiences can lead to success in their personal and academic life. Success is not just making good grades. Success is also building relationships, building confidence and competence, giving back to our community, developing your social network, and so much more. So as an office, for the Office of Student Involvement, this is what we value. We value building a sense of belonging and school spirit through student involvement for our students, providing leadership development opportunities, hoping that you engage in meaningful experiences and providing those for you, and personal and professional growth. So the Office of Student Involvement, the Office of Social Justice Initiatives and Identity Programs, the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities, the Office of Leadership, Service, and Career are partners in your student success. As the diagram shows, students are at the center of the work we do, creating opportunities for student involvement, leadership skill building, community engagement, career exploration, and planning and preparation help us focus on the holistic student experience. So there are a lot of different ways that you can get involved on campus. We encourage our students to get involved on campus so they can find their home away from home and the people that they can lean on. We know that students who get involved outside the classroom do better academically and are more likely to persist. We encourage you to go out of your comfort zone, be open-minded, and try new things. You can start off by looking at our clubs and organizations. Right now, we have about 250. We have everything from dance groups to professional organizations to cultural clubs to faith-based groups to social fraternity and sorority organizations to gaming groups and more. You are also able to start your own club if you don't see one that fits your interests. Right now, our office is currently creating a club and organization virtual hub with all of our club and org information. We hope to send this view book to all admitted students soon, so be on the lookout for that. One of the big events that we host for you to learn about our clubs and organizations is the Club and Org Fair. This usually takes place at the beginning of the fall semester, and then we also do one at the beginning of the spring semester. So take a look at CatLife, catlife.ucmerced.edu to see all of our clubs and organizations as well. Some other great opportunities for you to check out during your first year include coming out to Welcome Week events, campus events, whether that happens virtually or online moving forward. This will provide you the opportunity to meet new people, learn about campus resources, and getting connected to the campus community. Some other opportunities include volunteering on or off campus. This is a great way to connect with others while positively impacting our community. And research opportunities. There are a bunch of research opportunities that I'm sure Savannah will share a little bit more about her experience so far. All right, so the next one, fraternity and sorority life. So we have it broken down into two different types of organizations. So we have our social fraternities and sororities and our professional fraternities and sororities. So as you heard, we have the Fraternity and Sorority Council, which oversees our 4 Panhellenic sororities, our 2 NALFO, which are culturally based sororities, 1 multicultural sorority, and 6 fraternities currently. For our professional fraternities, we have 7 professional fraternities, and they are major and focus specific. We have a deferred recruitment model, so what that means is first semester freshmen or first years cannot join until their 2nd semester. Some other ways that you can get involved on campus, ASUCM, so like your ASB, we call it ASUCM, so that's our student government. They advocate for our student needs and change on campus. They also provide free Scantrons on campus, and they have a lot of events with free food. We also have our ASUCM Campus Activities Board. They have some large-scale events that include Treats and Beats, Coachella, Cabapalooza, and so much more. So one of our other values is building a sense of belonging and school spirit. We want to make sure that our students feel that they're connected to the UC Merced community. For our volunteer and community service, I believe about 66% of our students participate in that. They participate in local schools, public health, and so much more. Like we were saying, you can create or join a student organization. And if you can't find an organization that meets your interests, you can contact us and we'll help you with that. Some other fun events that we consider for our school spirit are social justice initiatives. We have a social justice retreat. As we were saying, Campus Activities Board, they also coordinate things like movie nights, Chill with the Chancellor, our dance competition, and more. So one of our other values is leadership development. We want to make sure that we're providing you the skills that you need in order to succeed. So the Office of Student Involvement, we provide these opportunities for leadership by joining the Associated Students at UC Merced, which is ASUCM. You can join the Campus Activities Board that also provides you some great leadership skills and programming event skills. Our clubs and organizations, we have 250 right now, and so all of those have leadership positions that you can join. Fraternity and sorority life, those are also other opportunities. As well as our Sousa Leadership Center, they have the Bobcat Leadership Series. They have the Yosemite Leadership Program, which is the picture that you see on the screen. They actually get to go to Yosemite National Park, and it's a 2-year program. There's also the Leadership Conference that happens every fall semester. You can get an on-campus job, which helps you with skill building and connection to the campus as well. and for engaging in meaningful experiences. We hope that you engage in experiences that are meaningful to you, whether that be coming together to learn about one another, exploring your own or other cultures, learning how to communicate cross-culturally, joining a club or organization, finding an on-campus job, learning new skills. We want you to find what interests you. We care about your success, and because of this, we provide resources for your academic success as well. So professional and personal growth. Developing skills and competence in these areas of personal and professional growth are key to your success. Students can seek out career exploration opportunities, student internships, paid or unpaid, attend career fairs, attend workshops and seminars that connect them with employers such as Google, Twitter, regional engineering, technological companies, to learn about a variety of opportunities in the workforce and region. Students have the opportunity to be hired on campus in a variety of areas. For our office, the Office of Student Involvement, we have over 20 students that work in our area. This gives students the opportunity to work while gaining critical leadership skills that are necessary for transitioning into the workforce. There are over 1,000 students employed across the UC Merced campus. Students can work up to 18 hours a week, and they can have 2 on-campus jobs as well. So now I'm going to turn it over to Savannah to talk about her student experience here at UC Merced.
Hi, so my student experience actually kind of started more around my second year. I became involved with fraternity and sorority life on campus. I joined a social sorority during the spring, and that was a total turning point, I think, in my college career. If I hadn't joined a Greek organization, I feel like it wouldn't have been the same because it really brought me out of my shell more and encouraged me to become more involved on campus. And now, as I'm wrapping up my time at UC Merced, I've been involved with, I've had 2 different jobs on campus. I work for the gym, and I currently work as a chemistry tutor. I do research in a chemistry lab on campus. And I've had a lot of other different opportunities, smaller side opportunities. I did some volunteer time in the classrooms here in Merced County. I was part of the Cal Teach program. And I think all of these things really kind of started from my student experience. So I'm really lucky. And I'm going to turn it over to Emilio, because Emilio has a lot more to say on the more like professional side.
Thanks, Savannah. So yeah, pretty much just what you said. I deal more with like professionals and professional fraternity, but really like my experience has been pretty much all around. Like I've been always very involved and like very engaging, and trust me, like once you go through life here, you'll find a spot. Like legit, what Haley said, it is a family away from home, definitely. So, and these organizations, these clubs and everything have kind of like helped me, have taken me in. Even when it does get lonely sometimes, especially being far away from home. So definitely there's always like a place for you guys, and that's what I've always felt going through Greek life. And I'm part of a professional fraternity, Alpha Kappa Psi, it's the business one. So definitely check that out. Check out all the professional orgs, all the social orgs. But honestly, it's been really life-changing, and joining that organization in specific too has been also very life-changing for me. So my advice just to you guys is just to get out there, just to have fun, and just to kind of break open your shell. But thank you, and I'll pass it back to Haley.
Thank you, Emilio. So to close off, if you all want to take your phones out, or if you can take a screenshot of this is good resources for you to have. So again, we're the Office of Student Involvement. Our website is right there. Our emails are right there. Again, I'm Haley Montoya. I oversee fraternity and sorority life, and moving forward, I will be overseeing all of our clubs and organizations as well. These are our office locations, and actually, if you look at my screen or my picture, our office is actually in the back right there. But I guess we can open up now to any questions that our students may have.
Yeah, so there's been a bunch on the Q&A. Should we just go through them one at a time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this first question was, does UCM offer pre-nursing? And if so, after completing a biological science major, may I proceed to pursue a career in the medical field? So I can answer this one. I'm a biology major. So we don't have necessarily like pre-nursing track, which is through advising. You wouldn't necessarily, it doesn't affect the courses you take or your major, but you can be advised on pre-nursing if you choose to declare it with your advisor. So I was pre-med for a while. I actually switched and decided I wanted to pursue grad school instead. But they do give you the resources to really prepare you. There's a pre-health advisor. We have professional organizations in Greek life. There's a pre-health fraternity, and there's also a pre-medical fraternity, and there's a pre-nursing club on campus. So there's a lot of resources just outside of advising that can really help guide your path. I think personally, it's much more helpful to have that peer knowledge of where you should go, the decisions you should make, because our advisors in the natural sciences department, they're really good, but there's only so much they can tell you because they're advising hundreds of other students that might have slightly different career goals from you. We also have a really good professional center, so you can still, you can really do anything you want with a bio degree, and if you have that pre-nursing emphasis, Office of Student Involvement is there for you. So the next question, will having a campus job affect my financial aid? I'm not 100% sure.
Good question.
Maybe it's referring to the federal work study. So that I am not super clear on. I would direct you to the career office, which we can provide you the information for that, maybe in the chat or at the end of this webinar, but they would be able to answer that question.
I can give you a little bit of info too. Hi, everybody. It's Ricky again.
Thank you, Ricky.
Sure, you're welcome. Just to offer a little bit of insight for financial aid. That question saying, will having a campus job affect my financial aid? It's hard to say because everyone has such individual incomes and tax information. But in general, every year when you reapply for your financial aid, either doing the California Dream Act application or your FAFSA, we renew your financial aid every year based on that application. So if you think about it, if we're using the 2 years previous financial aid information for your taxes, whatever income you make will be on those taxes. So it'll show your income. And then when you do the new financial aid application or California Dream, then that's what we're basing it on. So it's not an exact correlation where we can say you worked on campus, so financial aid's impacted. The other piece to that also, which I'm kind of reading between the lines in that question, but if it's federal work study, then if you're eligible for that, again, based on your financial aid application, then your actual paycheck is coming 75% from your financial aid award of the federal work study amount. It gets super technical, so I'm not sure that answered it perfectly, but that's kind of a general overview. And also in the chat, I can put in the contact information for the Students First Center. They can address FAFSA, California Dream, as well as financial aid questions, and they can also connect you to a financial aid specialist if need be. I can give their number now. It's 209-228-7178. Again, 228-7178. You can also Google UC Merced Students First Center, and their information will come up on their website, but I'll also respond to that one in chat as well. So hopefully that helped out a little bit.
Thank you, Ricky.
You're welcome.
So the next question says recommendation for incoming freshmen on how to start college correctly. Emilio, I don't know if you wanted to.
I got you. So pretty much just how to start. For me, personally, just get involved. We understand it's a new transition period, it's a new time. Definitely is scary, but once you step out of your shell and just kind of go and just talk to people, everybody's really friendly, everybody's really diverse. People are just here to help you. So honestly, just the best way to start it off is just to get out there and try to make friends and just push to do new things. That's my advice. I don't know if Savannah had any extra.
Yeah, I think my biggest regret is definitely not getting involved my first semester. When I started college, I was so afraid that I had to focus in courses and that I was going to get overwhelmed if I tried getting involved on campus. And I was just so focused on school that first semester. It was like I was wearing blinders. So I think it would have definitely benefited me more to have been involved on campus earlier. I'm definitely glad I ended up joining Greek life So if that's something you're considering, I definitely recommend waiting till the spring to join a Greek organization. But you don't have to wait to get involved. Just be careful with your involvement. That would be my only advice. You obviously don't want to stress yourself too thin, because it's easy to also do the opposite of what I did and take everyone's flyers, go to everyone's meetings, get involved in every club and organization there is, and there's just not time. So definitely quality over quantity, and definitely don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
I think I can add on to that. There's also a program called the Success Mentors. They provide you like a peer mentor, and they have a lot of good resources on, time management. They host a bunch of different workshops. So I would definitely look into that as well, because I think that's a great resource as first years.
So there's a question about IT support. So to assist on personal laptop or connection issue. Yeah, there's a lot of IT hubs all over campus. The ones that I know of for sure, there's one in COB, which you guys aren't familiar with the buildings yet, but one of the main classroom buildings has an IT support room. If you go to the front desk at the library, they can also help you there. And I know there's a few other IT hubs around campus. So if you looked up the IT website, I'm pretty sure it's just it.ucmerced.edu, I think. Which is nice. Also, if you aren't sure about something, almost anything that you're looking for, if you look up that thing .ucmerced.edu, it'll most likely pop up, or the exact link for it will pop up. So yeah, if you had more questions about IT, definitely look into IT. But there's places all over campus, and it's free for whatever you need. Okay, so can we get a campus job our first year? I'm pretty sure you can, but I worked for housing my first year as an RA, so I'm not sure. Amelia, did you have a job first year?
Not first year, but I know if you're trying to apply, just look up, you need your student ID. So once you get your student ID and like your login, just go to UC Merced jobs, I believe, and there should be a section for students, and that's where you can apply to all the jobs that are open, and it'll tell you what's open or not.
I would say for your first year, the biggest time offices are recruiting student workers is going to be in the spring semester, but that doesn't mean that there aren't opportunities for the fall semester. So like Emilio said, look at that jobs website and just keep up to date on that. The career office can also look over your resume and cover letter, and they can give you support on that as well.
Could I add something real quick to that? So another thing also, especially for incoming freshmen, a lot of the campus jobs do tend to hire incoming freshmen just because they'll stay around longer. And if you do, you can eventually become managers and get like manager experience for especially after college. So I feel like if you want to apply now, that's good, but definitely what Savannah said, don't stress yourself out too much if you can.
Yeah. So Haley, the next question is, can an incoming freshman join ASUCM? If so, what's the whole process of joining?
So for ASUCM, they actually are doing elections right now. So technically, the next cycle isn't until next April. If you want more information about ASUCM, you can contact Tawana Parks, who's our Director of Student Involvement. Her email's on the screen, and she can give you more information about ASUCM.
So the next one is, are there any jobs for incoming transfer students? I think kind of the same answer that we gave before for the incoming freshmen getting jobs. It's the same. So yeah, I think it's jobs.ucmerced.edu, and you should be able to find all the applications. One of the benefits for a transfer student, if you have experience, I work in tutoring for undergrad ed right now, and I know that they like to hire more tutors in the fall. So for example, the Chemistry Center has tutors graduating right now, myself included. So if that's something that you might have some experience from your courses from whatever institution you're coming from, that is definitely something you should consider looking into, because those jobs are a little bit, the hours are a little bit more flexible, and the pay tends to be a little bit different because, tutoring. Is there any medical internships for undergraduates? So I don't know if Haley has an office and student life side for this, but there is kind of a not office and student life side of it. So there are local internships with Mercy Medical Center. For example, they will take on volunteers to work in either the emergency department or the regular hospital floors. It's pretty competitive from what I've heard of. So if it's something that you are interested in, definitely keep your eye out. They usually host meetings at the end of every semester or at the end of just the fall, because they usually hire their new interns in the spring. If you join the professional fraternity, the pre-medical professional fraternity, I know they have connections for internships, and AMSA is another one, which is a pre-medical club on campus, and they also will help people find internships. So if that's something that you're interested in, I don't know if Haley had any other resources.
The only thing that I would recommend is reaching out to the career office. They can definitely help you get connected to internships as well.
So the next question is, how much would it cost to join a sorority? I think you meant sorority. So I can answer the social side of it, and Emilio can answer for the professionals, because the finances are a little different. So if you're interested in a social sorority, we have two different types. So there's the Pan-Hellenic organizations, which is the more traditional sororities that people know about, that were founded a long, long time ago in the 1800s. And then we have our Alpha multicultural organizations. They were founded in the 80s and 90s, and their goal tends to be more on focusing on like Latino and multicultural like unity. And so it's dependent, and I know the costs for those are also different. In terms of the social sororities, they have a large first semester cost, and then after that first semester, they get a little bit cheaper. But again, each organization is different. I'm pretty sure you can find the information online for due estimates, but don't be afraid by the numbers that you see, because those amounts are usually paid out throughout the semester, not all at once. Amelia, do you want to talk about the professionals?
Yeah, I don't know if I saw Jim. I don't know if he had a question or he was wanted to talk, but no. Okay. So yeah, so with professionals, it ranges too. But just like Savannah said, don't let like the price uh or any like prices like kind of scare you or anything like that. Like you guys are mainly looking for more of like quality than just like we can really budget. So definitely like just go where you feel like you fit in, where you feel that's the best spot for you, like that's your family away from home. But yeah, as far as pricings, it's very ranged, but we'll work a lot with you. We don't want to break anyone. We know that college is probably the most stressful time of money, so we don't want to break you. Definitely we'll work with you. If you need to make split payments, then that's how we'll go about it. But yeah, it ranges.
Savannah, can I touch on that real quick again?
Yeah.
So additionally, like I mentioned, for the virtual hub for our clubs and organizations, we are going to be creating that view book, and the prices or the dues for each organization will be listed in there as well. So each organization, including all of our clubs, not just our fraternities and sororities, some of them have fees or dues and then some don't. But for fraternity and sorority life, the dues do range. I would say it's anywhere from $100 to a semester to probably upwards of $500 per semester. But again, you can do payment plans and all of that to help balance that out.
Okay, so the next question, does Merced have physical therapy? If so, what's the path to it? So we don't have a physical therapy major, but I used to work for the gym, and Emilio works for the gym too, so he might have more information too. But I know that there are on-campus internships. They're called, I think they're called SSI, Specialized Student Internships, that you can receive. You have to apply for them, but what they'll usually do is it's either a mentorship or research or something like that. And it's all across campus. So I know that they do offer on occasion an SSI in the student training room to work with the athletes. But I think there might also be people that they can contact. Amelia, do you know?
As far as like contacts for physical therapy, I'm not sure, but if you do want to talk to someone, the guy's name is Kevin. I forgot his last name, but really cool dude, knows what he's doing, works with all the athletes on campus, especially with physical therapy. So if you guys are interested in trying to get in that field, I know he does take on interns sometimes, but I don't know if he's taking on some next semester. But if you guys really do want to pursue a field in physical therapy, definitely talk to Kevin.
And I know that there is a pre-physical therapy club, I'm pretty sure, and our pre-health or professional fraternity also does a lot of work with pre-physical therapy. If anyone was confused about the difference between the pre-med fraternity and the pre-health fraternity, the pre-health fraternity is a little bit more broad. So if you're interested in something like pharmacy or physical therapy, nursing, anything basically outside of just the traditional ND route, like they would be there. They would have a lot of resources for you as well. So this question was, can you skip into psychology if you pass intro psychology, excuse me, if you pass the AP psychology exam? When I came into UC Merced, I got my requirement fulfilled for US history with the AP Gov exam. So that is something you can do. I wouldn't recommend, I personally always recommend taking intro classes. I think it's helpful because it eases your transition a little more because you have the time to do it as long as you plan appropriately. I took intro psych with Altman. She's a great psych professor. I have her this semester also for Psych 180. But if you think that is just gonna hold you back and you don't need to take the course, you can definitely do it. I think you have to get a 4 or 5 in order for it to completely count for the course. And if you get a 3, I'm pretty sure you can get units for it, but you would still have to take the class. So that is something that you could always reach out to advising about. If you're interested in pursuing a degree like biology or engineering, I'd understand wanting to skip over that requirement. But if you're interested in pursuing maybe a SHA major, like a psychology major or sociology major, it might be useful to take the intro courses so you can adjust to the professors. I don't know, Amelia, did you have any more advice?
No, you got it.
Amelia, this one's for you. How can a professional fraternity help you get internships?
Oh, cool. Okay, definitely. Yep, this is my thing. So pretty much on professional fraternities, it really depends on the type of fraternities, but they do have like certain positions within the fraternities that do help and reach out, and also the alumni networking. Pretty much, if you go into either socials or professionals, you always have like a great alumni network. So pretty much just brothers or even like sisters that have graduated. They can honestly put you onto a new job. They can honestly give you opportunities if you're looking. It's honestly all on you just to go out and get it. But that's pretty much how you get internships, especially in professional fraternities. But most of the time, there are people that do bring them into the fraternities. More specifically on what their fraternity is like based on. So more, if it's business, it'll be business. If it's medical, it'll be medical. But I would go definitely just check out the career center. Make friends. They could be your best friend and help you get to where you need to go. But did Savannah want to add anything to that?
No, but I think this next question adds on to it as well. So the next question is, how and when did you get into the chem research lab? So kind of like Amelia was saying, it's really important to network with your peers. For me, I entered Dr. Ryan Baxter's lab. He's an organic chemist on our campus. And the way I did that was I was working at the chemistry center as a tutor, and I worked with one of the grad students that was doing her PhD in his lab. And I talked to her about, and it's all about networking. I talked to her about what her research was like, if they were looking for undergraduates. So I was encouraged by a couple of my peers to apply for UROC, which is something that we have on campus, which is Undergraduate Research Opportunity Center. So you can always look into that. I applied for the summer program through an actual, it gets a little technical, but I can also type these things out. It's called MACES, which is the Merced Nanomaterials Center for Energy and Sensing. It's a mouthful, but they also have internships that are affiliated with UROC, and I decided I wanted to do that one because I was more interested in doing more chemistry-heavy research. So there's there's so many on-campus opportunities to getting into research. The opportunities I chose was so I could get paid because UROC does summer research stipends. And then I also am actually doing MACES again during this academic year. And I also get a research stipend throughout the year. which is really nice. So I don't have to work as many hours at the Chem Center. I can do more research. But there's so many different ways to get involved in research. One of the number one ways I recommend that I wish I had taken more advantage of is talking to professors. I know it seems really scary and intimidating at first. I was one of those people that was super afraid of professors, but you learn that they're people too, and they're really easy to talk to. Some professors maybe more than others, but if you just approach them and say, "Hi, my name is, I'm taking this course with you this semester," or if you take a course with them in the past, clarify that. And if you haven't, just say, "I've learned about your research. I'm interested in getting involved with research on campus. Do you have any opportunities?" The worst thing they're going to say is no. Emailing professors also helps too. I know that there are some first years that get involved their first semester. If you don't have any previous research experience, that can be kind of a hard transition. So it's always better to take some introductory level courses first, network with some professors, excel, work as hard as you can in those classes to show them that you can be a good student, and then take that time to build that connection with them, because you could get into a lab as early as your second year. I didn't start doing research until the spring semester of my third year. So, okay. So if you entered Merced as undeclared, would you be able to change your major after committing, or would you have to wait until you actually enter school to be able to do so? I know my experience, but I don't know if that's changed, because it probably has changed. So I entered undeclared. Sorry, I'm talking a lot, but I entered undeclared, and once I started, you had to fulfill a certain level of requirements to enter a school. So for me, I wanted to enter School of Natural Sciences, which has more requirements than if you were interested in entering like School of Social Sciences and Humanities and Arts. If you're interested in School of Engineering, I think that has the highest requirements to go from undeclared to declaring a major, or really from going from any declared major to a major in that school. But that is definitely something you can ask them at orientation too. They'll have advisors there to answer any questions you have, because I'm pretty sure it's changed a lot actually since I started. So the next question, are there places to rent around the school? Amelia, where do you live?
I'm like over Dondowish area, but yeah, there's a lot of places to run around school. Pretty affordable, really affordable actually compared to other places. I'd say just get a good group of friends that you're really cool with, and go out. But definitely spend time on campus. So if you're coming in, don't worry about trying to live off campus your first year. I mean, if you have to, you have to. But I think it's required that you stay on for 2 years, I believe. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So you're required to stay on for 2 years. But yeah, there's a lot of places. Just look around and browse the market. It might be scary too, but definitely there's people to help you out with that. And then, are there study abroad programs? And if so, what are the different types available? I kind of wanted to answer this one. Yeah, there are a lot of study abroad programs that take you to Spain, like Europe, any like countries over in Asia too. I'm not sure, maybe Savannah or Haley could touch up on a couple more. But definitely like they go pretty much on either if you want to do like medical overseas, helping people, doing business. So pretty much is basically just taking classes in just a different setting, suited to that class. But honestly, it was my biggest regret not to do study abroad. I've heard it's been a lot of fun. It's been really a different experience. So definitely, if you guys are thinking about study abroad, or even if you're not thinking about it, I would definitely take that into consideration. Do you guys want to add anything to that?
Yeah, if you're interested in being a science major, really any STEM degree, so natural sciences or engineering, there's a big misconception that you can't study abroad or that it would be too hard to study abroad, but that's not true. I wish I had considered this earlier, because I kind of fell privy to the misconception of, oh, well, I have to take all these extra bio courses that aren't offered in other countries, or, you know, whatever the reason is. That's why, like Amelia said, think about it early, really be serious, because it's a great opportunity. I have a couple sorority sisters that have studied abroad. One just came back from Italy. She went in the fall, and she had a great time. So that's something you should definitely consider. I think my college experience would have been enriched if I had been more serious about study abroad. So yeah, for STEM majors out there, it is doable. Definitely something you want to think about early, because that way you can take, your easier lower division electives or upper division electives abroad, because those are usually always offered, and maybe 1 or 2 bio courses. Then you actually get to have fun abroad and you're balancing your course schedule appropriately. So definitely consider it. Haley, I don't know if you had anything else about study abroad.
I would just recommend, looking into the study abroad program. They have, everything on their website. I'm sure they are going to do a webinar like what we're doing now. So be on the lookout for that.
And the UC system has one of the best study abroad programs. So you're part of the system. So this next question, is there a textbook sharing group on campus for students who already finished classes and willing to share or rent out books to future students? I'm not aware of anything like that. We have classifieds page on Facebook where people will post old textbooks, or you can post yourself asking if anyone has a textbook for sale. But I know one thing personally for me that has been really useful is making connections in my classes with people, because you don't take all the same courses at the exact same time as everyone else. I have friends that are my same year that are graduating with the same degree, and we only take maybe 1 course the semester together, or they took a bio course ahead of me. So they either had the textbook, or I know there's a couple courses where you can find the textbook online, and students will share information. And it's also useful for studying. So making connections in your classes will definitely help with that. I don't know if there's anything else in terms of textbook sharing.
I would just add that definitely check Amazon. You can rent out books way cheaper on Amazon rather than trying to buy them from the store. So yeah, that's just something to help you guys out.
Oh, and Chegg too. Chegg also rents textbooks pretty cheap. That's how I've gotten a couple. Also, don't be afraid to buy textbooks. I know people tend to be really afraid to buy textbooks, but if it's more expensive to rent the textbook than to buy it, you might as well just buy it, and then you can resell it, or the student store will buy it back from you, but it might just be better to sell it yourself to a friend or something. I've done that with a couple textbooks. So yeah. This one is, how soon can I start registering for classes? Haley, do you know anything about orientation?
I know they just sent out a message about orientation, and it is going to be a online or virtual orientation because of everything going on with COVID-19. So they should be emailing you soon. You can check out orientation.ucmerced.edu, and that can give you more information about orientation.
And the reason orientation has to do with registering for classes is that's normally when you register for classes, which is also very useful to keep in mind. I didn't know that going to orientation, so I definitely wasn't prepared to register for classes, but I'm pretty sure the earlier your orientation day is, the earlier you can register for classes.
Hi everyone, this is Ricky again. I just wanted to pop in and let you know we do have a webinar that's coming up on April 30th that's specific to orientation and how you can get registered for that. So on the website admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars, you'll actually see a link for that. And you have to scroll down a little ways because it is on the 30th of April, so it's towards the bottom of our list that is there. But definitely register for that if you'd like more information. Again, the website for the webinar registration is admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars, and that event for orientation is going to be on April 30th.
Well, thanks, Ricky. So the next question is, was it difficult for any of you to make friends? I mean, I think that's kind of that's like yes and no, because the people that I made friends with my freshman year, I think it happened really fast, and we were so sure that we were going to be best friends forever. But a lot of the people that I met, we still talk and get along. But I'm not as close with them as I am with people that are in my sorority and in my major now. So I think it really depends. If you're more of an extrovert, it's going to be really easy to make friends. I'm a huge extrovert, so I don't really have a problem putting myself out there and talking to new people. For other people, I know it can be really hard. because they don't want to leave their room, or they get attached to their roommates and things like that. So I think it's really what you make of it. You're going to get out what you put into it. So if you're expecting people to come pounding on your dorm room door to try to be your friend, not very likely. But that's why Office of Student Involvement has a lot of welcome week events. That's how I made friends at the beginning of my freshman year. That first group of friends that I had, I met at a welcome week event, and we went to a bunch of the other welcome week events together, and that's kind of how we ended up clicking. I don't know how it worked for you, Emilio.
Definitely, yeah. Not gonna lie, no, it wasn't difficult for me to make friends. Definitely, I've always been a pretty social person. I always like to talk to everyone, and kind of different from what Savannah said. I actually did have people that would just knock on my door asking like, "Hey, all the freshmen are just coming out to just hang out outside or out in the dorms or out in the halls for the first couple of weeks." And definitely, like, there's a block party for the first week. There's a whole bunch of other events that goes on too. The fraternities and socials and professionals all do that. I'll go out there and do events for you guys. So definitely, it depends on who you are, but UC Merced does make it pretty easy to make friends. So yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and I can't emphasize enough, like, it's important to put yourself out there. It's college now. Even if you have friends from high school that are coming here, you know, I have a friend from high school that I'm graduating with this year, and, you know, we stayed friends, but no one knows who you are anymore. If you didn't like maybe the friends you had in high school and you're trying to break out of that shell or kind of figure out who you are, like, this is a great opportunity to kind of start fresh. That doesn't mean you have to become a new person, but that just means that, you know, don't be afraid. I remember I even made friends in my classes just because I asked a lot of questions. So there's like so many different ways to get to know people. One other thing that I strongly recommend is when you guys start coming to campus and like you move on to campus as first years, you'll see a lot of tabling. Walk up to those tables, talk to people. You know, I know it's easy to feel like it's going to be like in a movie and people are jumping out from the tents, like trying to hand you stuff and trying to, like, you know, nag you all the time, but that's not really how it works at UC Merced. It's all about, like, finding the group that you want to be a part of. So definitely take those opportunities to walk up to tables, talk to organizations. You'll probably see Haley out there at some point or another. You'll see Jim. So don't be afraid to talk to them. You know, they're not gonna tell you to go away. Would the new addition to campus be ready this fall given the COVID issue?
That is probably not a question for us that we can answer. We can direct you to the 2020 website that UC Merced has, but otherwise it's probably not a question we would know personally.
Amelia, do you want to take the next one? It's how are the business classes for undergraduate students?
I'm not 100% sure. Just because I'm a public health major, if you guys have like public health related or thinking about that field, I got you. But for business, I know that since a lot of my friends they do business, that they think it's really fun. It challenges them a lot in that they learn about like really the market, like economics and everything. There's one teacher in specific, I forgot his name. He's really great, but I'm pretty sure once you come to campus, you'll hear about him. That like everybody in that's a business major really likes. Yeah. And what was that called again? The Success Mentors Club.
The Success Mentor Program. I believe they have an Instagram. It's UCM Success Mentors, and you can look them up that way as well.
So are there study groups or tutoring help from higher classes students who already finished their classes and helping lower class students? Yes, actually. So like I said, I work at the Chemistry Center on campus, which is through the Department of Undergrad Education. So there's actually a lot of different tutoring services on campus. So personally, I work with the one that's directly affiliated with the professors and the undergraduate education staff. But there is through, I think it's a different department, but the department has more to do with student life. And this is not affiliated with Office of Student Involvement, but they have oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name, but they have student tutors that help with individual courses. So it's really dependent on what you're looking for. So I know that they're probably going to be opening a physics center also, but right now it's the math center, the chemistry center, and potentially the physics center, which is through Department of Undergrad Ed. And then there's the writing center, which is really, really helpful for like papers and writing courses. And that's also other undergraduates that are in upper division classes that can help students in lower division classes, but they also have professional help. And then there is, like I said, that last branch of tutoring, which I don't know why I'm drawing a major blank on what it's called right now. But they'll tutor for individual courses. So they'll hire students that got A's in those courses to continue on and tutor the next group of students. So for a good example is if you are taking, someone asked about psychology, if you're taking Psych 1 and you really need help with Psych 1, then the student that is tutoring for Psych 1, they probably got an A in the class and they can help you prepare. There's also the STEM Center. There's a lot of tutoring resources on campus. So if tutoring is something that you think you need, you could probably turn any which direction that you need tutoring and someone will be there to help. So, but the only thing about tutoring is you definitely have to go out of your way to get it. The resources are there, but if you're not willing to go to like the center or, you know, attend office hours, then there's only so much help that you can get from those resources. Is there a preparation week to help everyone be ready before the semester starts, or for transfer students that are new to the school? Haley, do you want to talk about Welcome Week?
Yeah, so Welcome Week is something that the Office of Student Involvement hosts. It's usually the first 2 weeks that we're on campus. Please keep in mind everything with COVID-19. You know, we don't know when we're going to get back to campus at this moment in time, but usually we do host large-scale events. Emilio mentioned one. The block party is something that we've done. But yeah, it's usually just events to get students engaged for their first 2 weeks. Specifically for transfer students, I would recommend reaching out to the transfer, returning, and veteran office. They can provide you resources that way. And then of course, orientation is something that will happen before school starts as well.
So the next question is, what activities are there to do at Merced to keep yourself occupied and have fun? Savannah's off right now. I can kind of start off on that. Honestly, Merced, there's not too much to do around here, but it kind of really pushes you to go hang out and like to kind of really make friends. But honestly, the school puts on a lot of good events, a lot of dances, a lot of like big socials where everybody can get together and just have fun. Personally, I always go to the gym. I play basketball, so I'll go have fun at the gym, just hit up a couple of my friends, and then we'll just all go and just play ball. Just want to think of anything. Haley, do you know any? What do you usually do in Merced?
I mean, we go out to eat a lot. I think Merced, it's really what you make it, you know, finding those friends to hang out with, finding those events to go to. It's really what you make of it. Yes, we're in a small town where there isn't as much compared to our larger cities around California, but I think it is really what you make of it. So finding, yeah, I mean, just finding events, finding friends. Usually the first 2 weeks there is a lot going on, so just be on the lookout for that.
I feel like the other thing too is it's easy to get down on yourself if you're constantly telling yourself there's nothing to do in Merced. You know, it makes you, it can sometimes make it harder for you to be motivated to get out and things like that. So don't let that like stop you. There's a lot of little things to do. I know there's an indoor trampoline park in Merced. There's a roller rink. There's a bowling alley, movie theater. You know, it's not, yeah, like Amelia said, it's definitely not as big as other places, but I think one thing about UC Merced that I love so much is it made my connections with other people so much stronger, because you really were constantly, you know, whenever I'm home, I'm always texting people like, hey, you want to come over to my house to hang out? You guys want to, you know, just go for a walk, which sounds weird, like a weird adult thing, but we do that. Or you want to go for a drive, or, you know, going to Yosemite. Actually, one year, my sophomore year at UC Merced, I had an annual pass to Yosemite, and I was gone like every other weekend, hiking all over the place. So that's another thing. That's an opportunity. Yards is great because they'll take you to Yosemite. So there's actually a lot. You just have to take advantage of it, and be conscious that you want to, you know, do it.
Just to add on to that real quick, Merced is kind of like in the middle of everything. So definitely, you're not too far from LA, but you're not too far from like San Francisco in the Bay Area. So definitely, if you have like cars, or anything like that, it's definitely easy to make trips. I know I've gone on trips with my friends, so Yosemite too, just like Savannah said. So yeah, it's pretty much just all what you make it.
Okay, so the next one, is there a gym on campus for students to use? Is the gym membership part of the room, board, and fees? Amelia, you want to take over?
Yep. I'm gonna just say yeah to that one. Pretty much, if you want to use the gym and you're a student that's registered in classes, you automatically have a membership. So, and this one's for Savannah. Yeah, this one's for Savannah.
Can you please go over the process of becoming an RA and your overall experience? Oh, yeah, I can. So I became an RA in my spring semester of my freshman year. So that was spring 2017. That was a while ago. But I actually applied in the fall when I saw the job opening. So like we were saying earlier about the jobs website, it's really important to keep yourself up to date, and see what's available, because you never know what opportunities you're going to find. So I saw that they were doing interviews for the RA position, and I applied, and I got called for an interview, but I didn't get the job right away. So they put me on kind of a wait list if they were going to be continuing to hire. And they ended up needing another RA. So something that happens is, and it's pretty common to have like one or two RAs need to leave, whether there's like family emergency, personal reasons. That happens all the time. So, you know, it's like any other regular job. So that I was able to fill a position from an RA that chose to leave during the spring semester. And I was an RA from the spring semester of my freshman year to the end of the spring of my sophomore year. So I did it for about a year and a half. I think my overall experience, I can tell you my experience, but keep in mind that housing has changed a lot since I came as a freshman. There's like whole new buildings. The structure for housing has changed. I think overall my experience had pluses and minuses. I'm definitely glad to not be in that position anymore. I think I was able to become more involved on campus after, because being an RA is a very large time commitment, and they have very high expectations, and it can be a lot of pressure. It's easy to kind of personally, I kind of got wrapped up into this housing is everything kind of mentality, which isn't true. But you know, it's different for a lot of for people. I know people that we were RAs together my sophomore year, and they're still RAs into their fourth year, and this is their third year being an RA, and they love it, and they want to go into housing. And then there's people like me who it wasn't for me, but I'm glad I had that experience. So I think it's kind of a back and forth. I learned a lot about like professionalism, but one thing again with the RA job is it is time consuming, and because you're constantly on campus, it's hard to get away. That was the year I actually had the annual pass to Yosemite, so that was my great escape from everything happening in housing. So, you know, I think there's pluses and minuses. So it really depends. And don't think that free housing is everything. It's not. It's really cheap to live in Merced, and having a student job on campus can make it super affordable. I know for myself, I could easily pay the majority of my rent with one of my monthly paychecks. So if you're taking advantage of the hours and you have, you know, a job on campus, that's definitely doable. But on the RA side, I wouldn't do it for the free housing. I really enjoyed that job because of the residents and the people I got to meet. You learn so much about people and their experiences, and I think it gave me a broader worldview. But that's definitely something that's kind of just my personal experience. I would take it with a grain of salt because there's so many other people out there that have different experiences.
Could I add something real fast? Just to add on to Savannah's, yeah, don't be that kid that gives the RA a hard time. Like, really, they want to help you, and there are people that's going to do that. It's very common for the first year, so definitely, and I'm still really good friends with my RA, so definitely be good friends with them. They could be a future connection. They can even help you out whenever they need it. Like, doesn't matter what time it is, like, they'll help you out. So definitely just don't give them a hard time. We appreciate the RAs.
Yeah, actually, it's good that Amelia brought that up too, because I have a lot of sorority sisters that were my residents that, you know, I'm really close with them now. But another thing is your RAs are people too. So keep that in mind. Like, they are like the #1 resource. I would run, if you ever need anything or have any questions, go to your RA. They have so many resources. Don't hesitate. But they can also connect with you as students. They're not professional staff members. You don't need to be afraid of them. They would, I remember when I was an RA, if someone came knocking on my door at 3 in the morning because they were freaking out about something, I was more than happy to get out of bed and talk to them and, you know, see what they needed. So don't be afraid to talk to your RAs. They're regular students just like you.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We are a few minutes over 2 o'clock. Just want to be mindful of everyone's time. Is there anything else that Haley or Amelia or Savannah that you would all like to offer the audience for a quick wrap up today?
I think, you know, just thank you for joining us today. We hope that we were able to answer majority of your questions about student life generally or about the campus generally. My contact information is on the screen, so feel free to contact me. I can connect you with Amelia and Savannah if you would like to contact them directly. So just feel free to email us. We're super excited for you to be on campus, and we hope to see you soon. Otherwise, Savannah and Amelia, do you have anything to close off?
Yeah, I guess I remember when I was an incoming freshman at UC Merced, I was kind of annoyed because I didn't want it. This wasn't my first choice. And I definitely was unsure because I'd never been to Merced. I grew up in LA. So I grew up in a big bustling area. If you're from the Pasadena area, that's where I'm from. But like, Merced has been such an amazing experience in my life. I'm so sad to leave it behind. I'm not gonna lie. This is the hardest way to end my 4th year, but I'm gonna miss UC Merced a lot. I've made some great connections. I met some amazing people, and I honestly wouldn't trade it for anything else. I wouldn't have gone anywhere else knowing the experience I would have had. So, you know, just be excited. It's an exciting time to be at UC Merced. You guys get all the new stuff. We got to, I don't know if Amelia remembers, but they showed us the 2020 presentation when we started, and it was empty. There was nothing there. So it's just an exciting time. So, you know, be motivated and excited.
Yeah, just to go off of what Savannah said, it's been a really great experience. I've loved it a lot. Surprisingly, I mean, I'm from Central Valley, so it was kind of like not too far away from home, but definitely all the highs, all the lows, they're all meaningful experiences that you can just take with you, and you'll look back and laugh at it and think, man, like, this was a really great point in my time. So that's also a thing here at UC Merced, and everybody else that I've talked to, majority feels like that too. So just get out there, go make friends, don't be scared, and just your best life. But that's pretty much it for me.
Thank you everyone so much for joining us for this part of our online event, which is also part of a bigger series for the admitted student webinars. You can find more events similar to this one, as well as the recordings for events like this one on admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. Again, that web address is admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. A couple of past events as well as upcoming that you will find there. And we had a financial aid event last week, and you will see that recording up later today. There was also an event on housing. So anyone that has those questions I saw coming through about first year and transfer type housing, as well as the living learning communities that we offer, we do have a webinar on that one as well. Also things for admissions questions. So first year students, transfer students coming in. We also have webinars about that have happened in the past, and most of those will be going up later today, the recordings. And then as far as upcoming events, we do have some that are specific for transfer students as well as parents and guardians of students. One of the parent sessions will be exclusively in Spanish. So if you do come from a Spanish speaking family or have family members that that would be a better language for them to attend one of these sessions, we do have that coming up as well. So definitely take a moment, check out that website, admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. And once again, just on behalf of the University of California, Merced, and all of my colleagues who were on with us during this online event today, a very big thank you for your attendance. Have a wonderful day.